Good morning. So we've been doing something a little different this whole year. It's been trying to develop a system that makes people a lot more money a lot faster. What we've decided is we're going to hit a goal of making 100 millionaires in the next 5 years through any business, whether it's sales, whether it's real estate, stocks. We have business owners in the room. So the goal is $1 million net worth. However you decide to do that is up to you. My preference has always been real estate. Where are my millionaires at in the room? Who owns $1 million worth of real estate? There's 2 of them sitting in the room right now. I didn't create them. I'm looking to create more, and we'll just help you guys get the next million. Is that cool? Yes? Excellent. So the path to being a millionaire starts with setting the mindset. My millionaires in the back, you guys agree? It's all about wanting it first. Carlos in the room, he said he wants 100 buildings. Yep. It's not necessarily a net worth goal. It's 100 units. It's a arbitrary goal, but it definitely leads to far more than $1 million. Does this make sense? Mm-hmm. And if those 100 units are in Fall River, you're probably looking at a $10 million net worth over the next few years as you do this. Mike, an actual net worth of $5 million cash that can be lended at 12%. Or 14 and 2.
You never forget that.
I'll never forget that. So I have a loan with Mike right now, that's why. So give Mike a round of applause for the lenders money, right?
That's going to be my new nickname.
That's it. 14 and 2. My lenders in the room, 14 and 2. We got 8 and 2. I'm going to sign one on for 10 and 3. So it's like a little different. Because we know as lenders, the upfront points where we really make our money, and then all the rest is, if we make it, we make it. You know, we hope so.
I just saw 15 and 4 in the closing.
15 and 4 at the closing. It wasn't just advertised.
No, I did the closing, and I was like, wow.
I'm going to start doing 15 and 4 too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the credit card rates, I love it. Wow. Morning, Amanda. Ladies and gentlemen, give Amanda a round of applause for being late. That's it. What is the rule? If you're late, if you're on time, you're late?
I know.
Yeah, I know. You're the one who told me that.
I am.
I operate under a different premise. I'm like, well, if I show up a little late, everybody will notice me when I walk in. So if that was your intention, I gave it to you. There you go. All right, so becoming a millionaire. That is done through setting the mindset. First, you've got to think a million. That is the first step. Who's read the book? What was it?
Millionaire Mindset?
Millionaire Mindset. What is the real estate investment one? Gary Keller, Blue Book.
The Millionaire
Real Estate Investor. You read it?
Yeah. That's what I was talking about.
That's same here, right?
Yeah.
Millionaire Mindset is written by a different author, and he's talking about the deca-millionaires in the country. And that book is phenomenal. You gotta read it. It's like the Millionaires Next Door. You ever read The Millionaire Next Door?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was regular millionaires. Millionaire Mind, not Mindset. Millionaire Mind is deca-millionaires. Same author went back and did all the research. It was different. It's extremely interesting that regular millionaires live based more on a frugality mindset of, hey, if I just make a certain amount, I save a certain amount, and I invest it, they do fine.
That's the same as the Millionaire Next Door.
That's the Millionaire Next Door, same author. Yep. Now, deca-millionaires are different. They actually spend a lot more. They're less frugal. They're more on income base. They're building businesses. All the deca-millionaires are building businesses. So you can't get to deca by thinking million. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They had a different goal entirely.
Was that one called Millionaire Mind?
Millionaire Mind. So unfortunately, he passed away. So
it's his
Still read the
daughter.
book, though.
so he didn't get to 100 millionaire, right? He didn't get to billionaire mindset or billionaire mind. So we don't know what research they would have pulled out.
Well, his daughter is the one who finished that, and I
Really?
heard her on a podcast talking about it.
Well, then we've
About
got
how
to
they
get on
went
that
back
podcast.
and then he died.
Like, he has some research to do.
Yeah. I do have. I'm sorry. I know
Go ahead, what do you got?
I have a. We were talking about books, but I was
Yes.
just gonna do like 2 or 3 minutes of a book today. So.
What's your book today?
Today is the one that started all, The Miracle Morning by Elrod.
Nice.
I need
Nice.
to go back.
Yeah.
Mike, what is it you liked about that book?
Oh, so that book started all because it really it sets your intention for the day every day.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of people just go through life kind of taking on whatever happens, whether it's getting the kids off to school or whatever project or whatever hits you in the face, then you deal with that. But when you wake up that hour early and you handle, and you do what it says to do in the miracle morning, your intention is set for the day and everything comes into focus. It's
Very
amazing.
powerful.
Yeah.
Very
So I
powerful.
brought it with me.
Who else has read the book? Oh, go grab it. Who else has read the book, Carlos? What did you get out of it?
Like I said, it basically gives you structure and how to start the day. And I know that before I started to actually read anything or invest, I used to wake up just, kind of hating going to the 9 to 5, so I was already starting with a negative mindset.
Yeah.
Upon reading that book, it just changed your whole perspective of life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Amanda?
I have to go back and reread it.
Okay. So I'll agree that just what Carlos said, when I used to go to the 9 to 5, it was the same thing. It was like this depression, this terrible feeling that just feeling oppressed, and you'd go, and then that carried through the whole day, right? And then same Mike was saying is that there's this power that comes from focus. When you wake up in the morning, you go to bed at night, knowing what you're looking to do the next day. What's up, Kevin? You just move so quickly, right? You move with a ferocity. There's things happen and you don't answer. Anybody know that I don't answer my phone? Has anybody heard me say that?
Yep.
Yeah, it's text me only. It is that exact rule. It is what is the one thing, right? If I didn't decide it, I'm not doing it, right? You start your day with a decision. I'm getting this done no matter what. The phone, other people's opinions, other people's decisions have no effect on you, right? You're getting some powerful shit done, and that's all that matters. And I have two people who have a different ringtone. My father, because he handles all my transactions, and my business partner, because he handles all my transactions. Does that make sense? So all the big swings I'm taking are, there's two people who are doing it, they can interrupt me. But that's it. Everybody else is on a, look, we'll schedule it, we'll text. I always text everybody, right? I always receive a text from me. Because text is more powerful, right? You can text 100 people at once. I know, because that's what my Tuesday looks like. But text 400 people, will go through every single conversation until the day is done. Some of you text till midnight, which is fine, because that's what we're doing to get it done, right? Because some of you are running your own miracle day, right? Where it's, hey, just make sure you're staying on track with everything that you're looking to do. That's how it should be. So yeah, books. Books are one of the secrets to success. I read over 250 books in the real estate, in the business, in the personal development arena. Who has come close to that? Who's
Close to that?
close?
I would say maybe like 70.
70.
That's not...
Millionaire, right?
Yeah.
70. Mario?
I'm older than you, so I've done more.
You're older than me. Well, it doesn't mean that you can outread me.
I've read
I'm reading a book a week, bro.
I've been
Mike
doing
Shine, you're probably there.
Yeah, and the 20 minutes of reading in the Miracle Morning made a
Helps.
huge difference because
Yes.
you start reading 20 minutes and then you get into the book, whatever book it is, and that just compound.
It compounds, which would be another book, right?
Yeah.
Compound effect.
Compound effect. That's coming up. That's on my
It's coming up. Is it on the list?
Yeah, it's on the list
All right.
of books.
That's an audio.
Yeah.
So every week, Mike is going to introduce a book that has been valuable to him, that's been a key to his success. There are 5 books that I promote to everybody. The 5 that I suggest everybody read, the Foundational 5. Who's read the Foundational 5?
No.
Nice. Nice.
I picked up the last one based on your book, which is The 7 Habits.
The 7 Habits.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
That's my last book.
Very good. Wow. That's what it's been. That was my first book, right? The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People was the first book. I was still in college. Before I knew about self-development, before I knew about being an entrepreneur, I was just like going through this course that made me take for management and team building, and then this book like changed my life. It was the craziest thing. The teacher forced us to use it, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It was a phenomenal book. And years later, I still go back to the 7, and I'm always on law 7, right? Resharpen, sharpen the saw, sharpen the saw. That's why the Foundational 5 I read every year.
Can you repeat them now? I got everyone but one.
Everyone but one?
Think and Grow Rich?
So you start with Rich Dad, Poor Dad, just gets people in the game, right?
I got Rich Dad Poor Dad.
In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I think even as coaches and mentors, we still go back to it just to remember where everybody else's mindset still is, right? Like, for us, are we getting a lot as we read it now? Probably not as much. It's more of a reminder of, hey, this is where everybody's coming from. Remember, these are shocks. Remember them being shocks, right? And then there's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind.
Yep.
Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. There's
Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich,
Science of Getting Rich.
Rich Man in Babylon. Yep, Science of
Man of
Getting Rich.
Rich Man.
So the order is such that you got to start from smaller to bigger, right? So start with Richest Man in Babylon. No. Start with the problem is they all say rich in them, right? this is the issue with this.
That
All
must
right,
be a theme.
it's a theme. So you start with Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Don't forget broke to $250,000. It's the foundational.
Broke to the $250,000 starts the relationship with me. You're right. You're right. So that one, oh, you read it too? I'll give her a round of applause. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Helen, I just met Helen, when? Was it Thursday? Thursday. Well, we sat down finally Thursday. We got to know each other. She read it. It's like
Did you
within the
guys-
last 2 days. So,
Did you guys go get your beards trimmed together?
not, Mike, you and I are the only ones in the room who've gotten our beards trimmed at the same time.
What book were you mentioning now?
So, Broke to $250,000 is a relationship book. Once you've read it, I think everybody in here has read the book. So once you've read it, that's just to build a relationship, right? Like, Carlos has to write one too, so that he doesn't have to tell his whole story from the beginning every time he meets people. What's up, Jess? Right? It helps. And then it helps people just get to the path to say, hey, you know what, it's possible. It's easier than everybody else is telling you it is. So, yeah, Broke to the $250,000, we'll throw it in there, right?
Why
6. You got Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Rich Man in Babylon, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Think and Grow Rich, and The Science of Getting Rich. And once you've read them all, I say The Science of Getting Rich, you can read it every day until you're rich. Literally.
That's
Like,
the one book that I don't think I've read yet.
that's the one that's you're gonna listen to this and be like, oh man. The Science of Getting Rich. It's the key to millionaire status. Go ahead.
Special mention for women. I would
Yep.
say You Are a Badass
Reading
by
that?
Jen Sincero is just.
You are a badass.
It's great for men too, but I've met so many women that it just turns the world.
It's
on
helped to
its head.
hear somebody who's exactly like you say this
So
is
good.
possible.
So good.
Right? And I'll be honest, when you read Think and Grow Rich, he talks, and there is now a Think and Grow Rich for women as well, which I strongly encourage. So Think and Grow Rich. Nice.
All right.
Good job. Give him a round of applause. When you read Think and Grow Rich, the first time I read it, the stats say that typically men get rich, right? This is an older book written back in 1904. So, like, I remember hearing that thinking, like, oh, thank God, I won the draw, right? like as a man, I was like, oh, 50% chance there. So we're doing okay. But now think about that, you're right, a lot of success books are all written by men, and they're geared towards men being successful. And I was sitting in the cigar shop the other day with my mentor, and you know what he said actually, he said to the group that we took to a class, so everybody paid $100 to go smoke a cigar with my mentor. Was that cool? Who was there? People who were there, it was cool, right?
Yeah.
You remember what he said about women being successful in this business? He said, my wife does all the work.
Right.
He's like, I sit in the cigar shop, my wife's out there pulling toilets or doing, like, if something, my guys aren't on it, she's on it.
Yeah.
4-inch heels. She's changed toilets with 4-inch heels, right? So being a female has no bearing on whether you can be successful in this. Mike, Carlos, you're both millionaires. Is it physical work?
No,
No.
It was at the beginning, but it's not.
It wasn't being because we were thinking it had to be.
Yeah, it's not 100%.
Right? We were like, oh, I gotta go fix this myself.
I read the one thing before I started, so I
Nice.
refused
Right?
because Gary Keller refuses.
Exactly. You came into it with a better mindset. Me and
But I was
Carlos were still
older.
thinking,
I
Like
just
Mario.
know it.
yes.
I'm like Mario, I'm a little older, so it kind of,
See?
I didn't.
There you go.
And that's okay, right?
Yep.
The age doesn't matter in this either. Right? Age doesn't matter in this either. And
More
like gender doesn't
Well,
matter.
that's right.
Millionaires can be female, male, transgender, Mexican, Chinese, Hispanic, doesn't matter.
That's actually in the Science of Getting Rich,
It is.
Right.
is the
If-
fact that it doesn't,
It's irrelevant.
yeah.
It's completely irrelevant. The whole concept of being millionaires, for my millionaires, we're going deca-millionaires, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So the 5-year rule, you're getting damn close. You're getting damn close too. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna sit. Well, you guys are on a completely separate mastermind. That's going for the billion anyway, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a mastermind that meets every month right now that is going for the billionaire status. A lot of people, I've been getting texts because we're switching this up. Typically in the past we were doing a mastermind every single week. The problem was I started noticing that people were pulling away from it because it was moving people too fast. There are some people like Mike who consistently came, and Jess, and Joe. But the problem was we were moving people way too quick.
And the McMurray.
The McMurrays were gone for about a month. I don't think I'll forget that.
It was 3 weeks.
That's
It
not
was
fair.
3 weeks.
3 long weeks I didn't see my friends.
They were away to go see your coach. But it's hot.
That was only 1 week. You're right.
But you checked in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
On
checked
the
it.
Facebook
I was
Live.
watching. Yeah.
He was. They were in there. They were in
You
there.
actually studied.
Okay, we'll give him the credit.
Whatever.
We'll give him the credit.
I don't need it.
Right? But they're not being here hurt me the most. So that said, what I felt was that we were moving a little too quickly for a lot of entrepreneurs, right? Because you come to the mastermind and it's literally the biggest thing that we pull out, and then you're supposed to finish that in a week. And I think that what was happening was subconsciously people were getting this guilt around not completing what they started with. Jess, are you shaking your head? Yes.
Yeah.
So that might have been a reality for you. I think it's a reality for everybody else who didn't come back, right? There were points we had 30, 40 people in this room, right, while the mastermind sessions were going. And as people were getting something out of it and not coming back, I started thinking, what is happening here? And I think what happened was we devalued the event too much, right? We did it a little too often, so that it's like, well, if I skip this one, it's irrelevant. When in reality, it's always just about getting what's stopping you out of the way, moving you forward. So with the Billionaire Mastermind, this is something you can't buy into. This is 100% invitation only. That is, it's for billionaire status, it's for guys who've already hit the millionaire status, and we're looking to get to the next level. Is that okay? That we do something a little different like that? Yes. We also dangled the carrot just now. It makes you want to get the $1 million. I see it in the eyes of people. Yes, excellent. Cool. We're like, come on, play with us. We're not greedy about this. We're going for something very big, right? We know that more people on the same path will help. It'll make it a lot easier for us to get there if we've got more millionaires who aren't worried about money. They're concerned about wealth, right? The secret to getting wealthy is not thoughts of poor, it's thoughts of wealthiness. It's thoughts of better, it's thoughts of doing more, helping more people. How do we add more value, right? There's not a millionaire on the planet who hasn't said, well, I added value, right? There's not a single one who didn't say, I served people somehow, right? The only way to be rich is to serve others. I set the goal of 5 millionaires, 100 millionaires in 5 years because I did the math. If you help 100 people become millionaires, there's a good chance you'll hit the billionaire status, right?
Correct.
Nice.
It makes sense. Because if you can help enough people get rich, you're going to get rich too, right? So that's really what the goal is. And the reason we're doing it here locally, and I'm training beyond just real estate professionals, is because my city needs entrepreneurs, needs business, right? In order to build a city up, what's Boston's big value? They've got jobs. So in order to build the city up, we're going to continue to increase jobs by helping locals become rich, right? It makes sense. Help the investors become rich because they reinvest. Help the business owners become rich because they reinvest. Create jobs, create opportunities. And one of Boston's best values is just people, right? It's the asset. The people are the asset. So that's one of the reasons that we're doing a lot more trainings towards, and you'll see it, it'll be towards business in general. Just improving entrepreneurs, whatever your business is. And you know, the masterminds that we're doing, you're gonna see more masterminds that are micro-sized, different sizes, right? So Joe, did you sign up yet?
Well,
You're about to.
we have to today.
Okay.
Remember we had that conversation?
Yes.
So I booked my flight to Vegas.
Good job, me
Now
too.
Now I can get the
All right. So Joe is signing up for the mastermind that we set up for the alchemists. So the alchemist mastermind is going to meet every 2 months, and what we're going to do is evaluate your business and pull out everything, literally everything, much longer than the previous mastermind we were doing. It's going to be about 10, 15 minutes on each entrepreneur and pulling out the roadblocks out of the way.
What's in Vegas?
Vegas is my coach. You've actually been with us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you were there for day 2. Right?
Yeah.
You missed day 1 and day 3, which is
Well,
fun.
that's the 2 things. But what Walter knows about me is that it's 14 and 2, and that I only spent 1 day.
I'll never forget it because day 1 we have a party.
Yeah.
Oh no, day 2 had the party. So you did hit the party.
Yeah, you made
Typical
That was
Mike.
so classic. He leans over to me and says, "The party's for the eyes." The disc training. It's so
Nope.
great.
So it was day 2. He hit the party that he belongs at anyway. So
Yeah.
so my coach is doing a training. He does it every 2 months, ironically, same as the schedule we're looking to follow. And he has a mastermind the 2 days before. His mastermind's 2 full days, all millionaires in the room. And what we're doing, and we travel all across the country for this. What we're doing is we're looking to pull out the stop that's blocking us, right? I go and I have a mastermind I'm a part of with a coach who helps pull me out of the way, right? So then after that, he has his 3-day boot camp. It's called Maverick Selling System. Right? How to double your income the next 12 months. Do you think the first time you go, great, right? Double my income, it's awesome. The second time you go, you think, great, double my income, it's awesome. At this point, double my income takes different steps. It's not the same as it was when I started going 2 years ago. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I still go back. So I go back, and the event will reset me again. Because now I'm not at a point where I'm looking to double income, I'm literally doubling net worth. Because doubling income at this point makes a lot of tax bills. It's very expensive. And I don't need it. The only reason you pay tax is because you pulled money out of the system. We want our money moving through the system. The government entices you to keep the money moving in the system, right? The only time you pay tax is when you put cash in your pocket. And also when you pay off a loan, because I know a lot of people say, well, but if I put it back into the property, I don't have to pay tax. You do pay tax if you pay off a loan, because you're, again, taking cash out of the system. The government wants you paying loans. They want loans in existence, right? That's why they give you a tax break on the interest. They want to see you doing this. But the 1031 exchange, the rule is same debt or more.
Yeah.
That's how it's worded. You must have the same debt or more, equal or greater value, right? Because the government wants your money lent. It wants it moving. It understands that the economy is based on currency flowing, not currency stopping. So they incentivize to keep the money in the game. So I'm no longer interested in increase of income. I'm interested in increase of net worth, value, things that we're doing to help other people. And if income increases, you better believe I'm reinvesting it in the same like asset to make sure that it continues growing. Because at this point, there's only so much you need to live. There's only so much money that you need to live on. And then beyond that, it's how do we grow this thing bigger, right? And the easiest way to grow it bigger is keep rolling it, right? Uncle Sam is high-fiving you every time you 1031 exchange, or if you're in securities, every time you 1041 exchange. He's high-fiving you just to keep those securities going, to keep that asset moving, right? And every time you day trade, you pay a price, right? That's income tax. That's, hey, well, you took from me, so just pay. When we take it out of the system, we lose. Millionaires understand the strategies behind taxes because it becomes important at that level. Right? If they ever start taxing our net worth, we're gonna have a different conversation.
Yeah, that'll be different.
If they ever start taxing my net worth, we're gonna shift, we're gonna jive, we're gonna do some different things. But right now, they don't tax net worth; they tax income. And a tax against net worth would really just destroy the economy. It would be the craziest thing. What's up, buddy? You see us all pull money out. Yeah, guys, there's 3 seats in the front.
Yes.
Come step forward. Ishmael, you're the only one who gets away with it because you just had foot surgery. Guys, give Ishmael a round of applause for still hustling through foot surgery. He's making phone calls, he's cold calling, he's looking for sellers. Where are my wholesalers at? Wholesalers in the room? There you go, all the way up, guys. If you want money, don't be scared, right? Secret agents don't get paid. Right? Being hidden doesn't get you paid, right? So that's one thing millionaires are very good at. They're good at marketing. They're good at networking. They're good at selling themselves. All right, I met Carlos the first day we were at an event together. We were at Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, the intensive up in Boston, and this dude was not secret. Like, he came in, he was dressed sharp, and he was shaking hands, passing out cards, finding out a little about you, and then moving on, right? Remembering, like, building relationships, moving on. I don't think you even stayed the whole event, but you got more cards than anybody there, right?
I didn't go the last day.
The last day.
Yeah, but
He's another one, Mike. He leaves the last day, right?
Yeah.
I'm not encouraging this. Last day is where, and this is the secret, last day is where all the speakers slowed down. They've sold already. Last day is where you get to take all the information from the speakers because they're kind of, I know, they're running out of content. They're just like, whatever, you know, sure, ask me questions, and you can really, really pull from the last day. And I've seen it over and over. So I always stay for the last day because that's when I get to meet the speaker. All right, that's where you hang out for a little bit. Also, last day is where everybody's networking starts to freshen up, right? They start finally being like, no, maybe I should talk to people. Maybe I should get a little more comfortable. So I always stick to the last day because that's when they're coming over to you because you've kind of established yourself the first 2 days as somebody of interest and they want to find their way over. That is if you're a millionaire. If you're a normal person, you probably went, took all your notes, didn't notice there was anybody else in the room, and then left. And that's what I used to do when I was broke, right? Like the broke part was from not marketing myself, not caring about other people, just thinking it's all about if I get the knowledge, I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
When the knowledge is important. Knowledge. We're just talking about books. The knowledge is key, it's paramount. But the relationships are just as paramount. There's 3 steps, 3 elements, 3 laws that must be followed in order to get rich. You must have the right people. I think it's number 1, because I could probably do it without the other 2. You must have the right knowledge, and you must have the capital, because capital speeds up the other 2. That's all it does, right? So if you have 2 out of those 3, you can be extremely successful. If you have all 3, you're unstoppable. What you want, it's impossible not to have. Because we agree that even with the right people and the right amount of money, you probably don't need to know what you're doing. Because somebody in your crew does, right? Henry Ford is famous for saying that he was on trial. He was on trial for some ridiculous act. I can't remember what it was, but he was on trial, right? This is in Think and Grow Rich, the story. Slander.
Yeah.
So he was on trial, and what he says, because they were asking all these arbitrary questions that are irrelevant to his business, and he says, look, I have at my office, I don't remember how many buttons was up, 64, 50 buttons on my phone. I could hit anybody in my company who knows more than I know. He's like, that's all I need to know. Henry Ford proved that it's people that help you move forward. Right? He used the power of the mastermind, utilizing other people's knowledge in order to move forward. And that's one of the 3 elements that are necessary: people, skills, or specific skilled trade knowledge, and money. But you could do all of it without money. I built my business without money, but I had the right people and I had the right skills. I had the knowledge, the institutional knowledge. Now money makes it a lot easier. We go a lot faster now, because when you can collect money, it's, well, I don't have to have that conversation today. Just fire off the check, right? Ron and I were talking about this all week, these the money guns. Anybody ever seen a money gun?
Yeah.
Right, you load it up, it's like, we look at life now like that. It's like, well, which one do you want to shoot, right? Just fire the money gun in that direction, we're all set there, move on to the next person, right? The relationships we have to have are way higher level, right? The skill sets we have to have are actually much simpler. It's far simpler. It's just a matter of knowing who has the knowledge on those skill sets and gaining it from them. Well, becoming a millionaire is not a complex system. It requires complex systems. Don't get me wrong. And to get richer, there are people doing a lot of things. Property managers, right? You're a property manager.
Thank you.
We share the same property
Thank you.
manager. You're
Yes,
welcome.
she's awesome.
Give Becky a round of applause. She is awesome. And that is a complex system that she's running. She's running systems on systems on systems, right? Did she give you access to Build DM yet?
Yes.
That's because of us. We were like, no, we need it. Because like I was
What did she have before?
she didn't give us access.
Oh,
She would just send a report out once a month. And for me and Ron, it was like, dude, like we check
Yeah,
weekly.
okay.
We evaluate weekly, and then we send out an email and say, hey, can you work on these things? And now we can just go in on our own free will. So I told him, I was like, Ron, we're going to get that access. Because we used to run a company, so we know there's access, right? And I told him, I was like, just send her an email every Monday saying, hey, what's this, what's this, what's this, what's this, what's this, what's this?
Of course it'll give it to you.
And eventually she realized it was cheaper and freer to just give us access to Buildium. And it's safe, there's nothing we can change in there, but it's view access, right? My mentor told me, it's okay to have somebody else doing everything, but babysit the babysitter, right?
So true.
Right? Property manager is your babysitter, right? Your manager is your babysitter. Every business you build and own has a babysitter that you better babysit, right? When you put money to work, somebody else has to watch it. Asset management is a real deal, but you better be managing your assets and the people of your assets. That make sense? Very good. So the next 52 weeks, we're going to be doing something different every single week to build you up, to make it to your next level. For the millionaires, we're going deca. For the normalaires, for the people becoming millionaires, I don't even want to brand that at all, right? The people becoming millionaires, and that's how he speaks in the Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. The future millionaires, the present millionaires are going to help support you. We're all here to help support each other. You guys agree?
Sure.
Yeah.
Especially my millionaires. You're in on this?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. I knew. I knew. We're here to support you guys. Right? We want to see you get to the level that we've been at and past. online. I made the post. I shared it across, and I knew what I was doing when I shared it, right? Because when you say, hey, I'm looking to make 100 millionaires over the next 5 years, you're gonna get people saying, what qualifies you to do that? Well,
Really?
why even do that? Money's not important.
That's so.
I knew it was coming,
That was
Mike.
not my reaction at all.
Of course it wasn't your
I was
reaction.
like, oh my god, this is amazing.
You were like, hell yeah.
How amazing is this opportunity?
You can't spend your time
Yes.
on that.
Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. You can't spend your time on those guys.
That's the
Right?
flow in the wrong direction.
I'm like
That's
the
right.
lightest guy in the room.
So it's on my page it was fine, right? On my page it was perfectly fine. And I knew when I put it into the real estate investor pages, I'd be okay because that's my people. Like we're all like doing the same thing, right? When I put it into the wholesaling pages, wholesalers aren't thinking $1 million. Wholesalers are like, yo, I just want to get that first fat $5,000 check. When I put it into the real estate agent pages,
Oh
I
God.
knew, yes. You knew I was looking for trouble, right? And it was like, as I went and clicked the page, I literally had to breathe a little bit and be like, it's gonna be a lot of typing after this. And then post, right? And then post. And then when I went into the city groups,
Oh,
which is just normal people, right?
Yeah.
Future millionaires.
you were asking for it.
I was asking for it. So that was where all the work came from,
You
right?
might get one deal. though.
That's
To do it just, it's
That'll
our
be-
city.
that'll be
It's
fun.
charity.
You'll get one.
Imagine if you picked up that group,
Right?
you could lift them up.
Well, that's the goal.
That would
That's
be
the whole
amazing.
point. That's the,
Okay,
that
you
would
get
make
one,
this whole
Yeah.
city a much better place. We'd have better quality tenants. We'd have entrepreneurs to work with. We'd have way more plumbers. So we're not paying plumbers $150 an hour. So it'd be a lot cheaper
Wow.
because everything would be better because everybody would make more money, right? So that is the goal, but it has the most friction behind it. In fact, I had a real agents have just about as much friction, right? I had an agent message me and say, and you can imagine this, right? The agent said, yeah, I can't do it because I got kids. I'm making fun of you right now, and you know who you are. So I can't do it because I have kids. I was like, kid, I could do it with 4 hours a week if I had to start over because I know what I'm doing, right? She's like, oh, well, it takes a lot of work. I was like, bullshit, it does. Ask the millionaires in the room. When I stopped doing all the work, I made more money, right? When we stopped thinking I had to do everything, we made more money. That was the secret, right? And it really is doing the right things, connecting with the right people, having the conversations. And so the other element I've picked up from this is, well, yeah, you're just trying to get rich through training. And it's like, dude, I'm already rich. By your standards, I mean, I'm already there. Like the training, I'm not charging for. This is free. I'm looking for better friends.
People just find excuses. Man.
Everybody's gonna find an excuse not to do something, right?
You should
He's
buy.
right.
You should buy like 500 copies of Extreme Ownership.
Extreme ownership.
And just hand that book out because
Well, Mike.
that's he's the Navy SEAL guy.
Hey, you're giving away your next week's book, right?
His name's Jocko Willink, and that book, he's on Bigger Pockets this week talking.
Oh, no
I
way.
own that book,
What is
and
it?
it's called Extreme Ownership, and you are
Yeah.
responsible for everything. Like,
Yeah.
And I'm listening to it, I'm getting a coffee, and the lady at McDonald's is taking too long, so I'm like heating up and getting aggravated.
Nope.
But then he's talking on the on the podcast, and I was like, oh my god, this is totally my fault. I should have left 10 minutes early if I wanted to get a coffee.
That's right.
And it's just a mind, like your realtor. That's just a mindset.
Using
It's
it.
not the kids. It's not, get up
Exactly.
when Jocko gets up. He gets up at 4:30 in the morning.
He also wrote the book,
Jesus.
The Art of Discipline, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
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 Very good.
So good. Yeah.
You guys are catching a theme. The millionaires are reading the books,
Yeah.
right? The millionaires are reading the books. Kevin, you reading the books now?
Yes, sir.
You're motivated, right?
Got it.
Steve, the
Yeah.
books?
Yeah.
All right. It's in the books, I promise. The reason we read so much is because we know on the next page might be the answer, right? But we don't know what book's going to spark the fire and get us moving forward. But we know on the next page could be the answer to make that next million. Could be the answer. Gets me an extra 10 hours a week. What do you
I'd
got?
also like to, I'd like to have an accountability partner because I think I told you, with the science of getting rich, someone told me, and I already told you this, Walter,
Yeah.
but someone told me that if you read, for 90 days, you read chapters 4, 7, 11,
Yep.
and 14 every single day for 90 days. So it's just 4 of the chapters, and they're not that long. But I want to do it, but I haven't done it, so.
You know, Mike, you introduced it to me as well, and I have done it once, but not 90 days.
Alright, cool.
But I found that the chapter on, I think it's chapter 7, the chapter on
That's gratitude.
gratitude
Yeah.
Right.
is the one.
Yeah.
Like if you had to listen to literally just 7 minutes of power,
Yeah.
like just be thankful that what you're building, what you want is already coming to you.
Oh my God, I put that on the podcast
Right?
in the morning when I get in the car, chapter
Yep.
7. Like
Chapter
you said,
7.
it's like 7
I start
minutes.
with 7 and I'm like, just run it.
I'm sorry,
It's like motivation.
Bible.
It's motivation.
Bible of the
It's just
book.
a reminder
It's
that
so good.
gratitude for what you're building and that's already there and it's already yours and you're building
Yeah.
it is key.
And gratitude for what you have.
And what
It's
you
like
have, right?
It shifts your mind.
When you're thankful for what you have, you're no longer worried about whether you're not having or
Right.
concern of anything. It's just okay. Now they've freed up that space, and you can just shift to what you're building, because it is. It's to focus on the vision. Right?
You could always,
focus on
I always say someone always has a voice than I do. So
Yeah.
it can't be that bad.
right.
If you've got a bed, you're better than 99% of the world.
Right.
Exactly.
If you have a bed,
Yeah.
you're doing okay. If you got food to eat, you're doing okay. Dorina, what's up? You can't hear it. I don't know, cause try again. Miss you too, Ryan. What's up? All right. So, how we doing for time? Let me stay focused here.
Sorry.
10:44.
It's all right, Mike. Hi. We have eyes in the room. I know we got to give a little bit of influence to our millionaires. And here's the deal: like you guys are what give people courage, right? So Ron and I were talking the other day. We talk every Monday. We have our own mastermind. Our mastermind is 4 hours. He and I dedicated, committed to each other and building this wealth that we're looking to accomplish over the next 5 years. And when we were talking, we're like, oh man, that's an issue. Like, damn, like what do we do? And we're talking about shifting $4.2 million into different assets, right? We're talking about how to shift this portfolio, how to move money. And we just started laughing. He started laughing. And I was like, wow, bro, like, this is a real deal. Like, what are we doing here? Like, come on, let's go, focus. He's like, this is a really good problem.
Yeah.
He's like, this is a quality problem. This is like this is what we're concerned about, right? We're concerned about how to expand faster when we've already built something that most people will go to the grave never even knowing that exists, right? Most people on the planet will never even know what it's like to think about somebody having that much money, right? Like you walk and you're like, oh man, that person's a millionaire. You have no idea how cool it is to actually be a millionaire, right? Or the deca-millionaire status, right? Where it's like multiple millionaires, like it's a lot. It gets really cool. Life gets way better, right? We don't think so much. I was sitting with another deca-millionaire yesterday, and we're sitting there, we're just talking, and he's almost a double deca-millionaire, right? Like twice. And we're sitting there talking, and we're talking about like health. How to stay healthy, right? How to live a little longer. Because it's really about, hey, let's just last a little longer in this game. How do we live, right? Like how do we make sure that are we leaving the world a better place? Are we doing things, in a cost effective? We're still always simplifying the business, dialing things in, checking things. And it becomes though what's really important. Bless you. You start thinking about it more. As you realize money is not what we're chasing. Freedom is what we're chasing. Options are what we're chasing. Right? We're looking for better quality relationships. I've said this so many times. The reason I build this team is so I can hang out with more millionaires. So I can hang out with people just like me. Right? The reason we do this is so that I can have my friends on vacations with me. So I can build businesses with people. Right? You can't become a billionaire by yourself. I want other people in that process. Right? And I want to be good people that I like. We can qualify that out, right?
Yeah.
That's why you guys are here, right? You could be the next generation. Millionaires,
Will be.
deca-millionaires.
Will be.
Yeah,
If you're in this room, you are.
I believe
It already
it.
exists.
In fact, this is a very strong group. This is all people. I know everybody by name. This is a very good group. This is people who've been here for a while, right? There's people I've had relationships with for years. And what we're looking to do now is build beyond what we've built before. Just get a little better. Right? Just get a little better. Yeah, that's what it is. Wherever you are, whatever your goals are, we're going to start moving you towards that goal and just define the vision of the future. Get a little further ahead. Move you to the next level where you belong. Right? Because you're worthy of it. You deserve it. Gratitude. You own it.
I got
Mike, what do you
another
got?
book.
We're supposed to do 52 books a year, not in one session.
But you keep talking. So what you just said is the theme of the book, Atomic Habits.
Yes.
And when they
Yep.
say atomic, they're not talking about like an atomic bomb. They're talking atomic, teeny habits every single day. That's just what you were talking about. Doing
You're exactly
one
right.
thing
Yep.
every day. And they have an example of one person who has like a Coca-Cola with lunch, and another person has a water with lunch, and what that does over 5 years.
And it makes a big difference.
Huge difference.
It makes a big
Atomic
difference.
habits, little
Yeah, I
habits.
just ordered that book too.
Did you order it?
Nice job. Yeah.
See, you're getting in it too now.
Yeah.
So, what we've done with the mastermind is we've adjusted it. So this next section, what I'd like to do is, the way we did in the beginning, right? For the next couple of weeks, we're gonna continue to, when you walk in the room, you're gonna have about 30 seconds to say your name, what you do currently, and what your goals are. This way, everybody in the room kind of knows, kind of understands. We start, even though you said it last week, you're gonna say it again. Put it out there into the universe. We're gonna be an accountability team, right? We're all gonna hold each other accountable. The more we're saying what we're doing, also, by the way, show up on time. Because when you show up on time, you don't miss out on that opportunity, the whole back row. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's a commitment to your success, not mine. I'm already very content, which is a dangerous word, right? But don't worry, my content level is I just double my income every year. It doesn't matter. I double my net worth every year. So I will become a billionaire regardless at this content level in 12 years. It's guaranteed. I just gotta keep doubling, just keep doubling. It's super simple. But I'm at a comfortable space. I'm not looking to be comfortable, right? I wanna get aggressive again. I wanna get back in it. So maybe I have to quadruple, speed up. And the only way to do that is through getting you guys on board, to get you building your business on a level that you've never thought of before. All right, 10xing it.
Yeah.
10x is some real work, right?
Oh, yeah.
When you look at 10x, like that's some real work. And like I know everybody in this room has heard of Grant Cardone, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in this
We
room
were
is.
there last year.
We were there last year. We're not there this year, are we? No, because his ticket price went to $2,700.
That went 10x.
That went 10x. And do you know why he did it? I know you do. To qualify the room.
Right.
Oh.
To qualify the room. The more you pay to be in a room, the more valuable you are. Better quality people in that room. The only reason I'm not there right now is because I wouldn't even know what to do with them. Does that make sense?
No.
Like it's an awareness. It's an awareness that like I could be in that room and have no clue how to even service them. Right? A room full of people willing to pay $2-3 grand to be there for 3 days is a whole other level of people. Right? They know they're never gonna meet Grant, right?
Yeah.
That stadium fits 10,000 people. It's a big stadium.
Wow.
And he's packed it.
Yeah, but I went there to meet other fellow guys that, you know, I knew I wasn't gonna meet Grant when the first year.
Right. Well, I
That's
go
it.
to meet the speaker, right? That's one of my secret motives.
Yeah.
You go to meet other guys, and that's the point. Is the people who are paying know that too, right? They're paying $2 grand, $3 grand, $7 grand for those tickets, for those spots. When I went to 10X last year with Carlos, what I did is I went all the way up to the front on a break, all the way up to the front. There was a guy sitting at the table. I sat down on the side of him. I said, "Hey man, what is it you do?" This dude flips FedEx. He owns 70-something FedEx buildings.
Right.
He flips FedExes. Paid $15,000 to sit in that chair. Does that make sense?
Sure.
How much you pay dictates the room you're in, right? It dictates the quality of the people you're hanging out with. And that's one of the, right, free events. We've been to free events, right? Well, I know me and Carl certainly have. Mike, yes. We've been to free events, and you get in there, and it's like half the people, it's just like posting in the follower group, right? Half of them are like, this isn't possible. This speaker's just trying to get rich on this training. You know, that, yeah, maybe it works for him, but it doesn't work in my business, right? And it's like super broad. Have you ever paid for training? Like gone to a specific training? Okay. Okay, so 3 of us have. Yes. In that specific training, the room gets a little better. Everybody's kind of, we buy in, we believe in what we're talking about. We were just a little more qualified, right? And we've paid to be there. So typically we stay the whole 3 days.
Yeah.
We've made a commitment. Well, the problem is when they're local, it's a little harder,
Yeah.
right? When you fly out, it's way easier to stay the 3 days because you're committed to it. But we're making a time commitment and a money commitment. So there's this element of the people in the room are serious about their shit, right? They're real about what they're looking to do. So that's what Grant's created. He's raising capital. His whole business model now is raise investors. People who have expendable income of $7,000 for an event, for a 3-day event that they know is just going to be a pitch fest, that they know is just going to be a whole bunch of people who paid the same amount of money, are a different class. They're like the guys who own FedExes, right? Here's how I know how hard it is to get up in that seat. I'm one of those ambitious guys, right? I'll tell you a little story of that day. At 10X, when we were there, Ron put the challenge. He said, you should be up there networking. And I was like, dude, like, I didn't pay for that ticket, right? I paid for the 500, like the back here, the executive ticket, right? I think you guys got the same one. I was like, I'm back here in executive. But I'm not up there in nosebleeds, right? So I knew I could hang with this crew, right? But to go to the next level almost felt like they're gonna notice, right? They're gonna catch me out. So what I did was I acted like I belonged there. I walked down, I walked right past the security, right? Just walked right past them, and I went past, and you can feel it as you're going from like plastic stadium chairs to metal chairs on the floor to chairs I've never seen before to these super fancy soft. I've never seen a convention center have soft chairs like this and like tables with cloths on them. And you get to all the way to the front, and there's signs. It's like platinum, gold, platinum, diamond. You get to diamond, and there's just less. There's less of them. And like as I was going, I remember feeling it. Like it's literally a physical feeling where you're just like, oh, trying to push through, pushing through this, like, I don't belong here, like, what am I doing? Like, they must know. And then you look up at the stadium, and it's like, holy shit, there's 30,000 people in here who must be keeping an eye on what I'm doing right now. It's like the eye of Sauron, right? Everybody watch Lord of the Rings?
Talk about being paranoid, man.
Paranoid, bro. This is human nature. This is the mind. This is what it creates for you. Literally, and I'm like the most comfortable person, right? And at a certain point, I realized, I was like, dude, there's not a single person up there thinking about me right now. There's not a single person up there who's not questioning whether I belong here right now. There's not a single person anywhere in the stadium except for my one fan back up there who said, go do it, right? I know Ron's back there probably recording me saying, look at this asshole. Who does he think he is? And when you know that nobody cares about you, that's good. Helps you do things, right? But when you know you got somebody back there supporting you no matter what, it's like, dude, I have to go now. Like, I keep pushing. Look at this, huh? That's right. Past gold, bro. Past platinum. In diamond. Not second row, not third row. I'm going front row. Let's see what this guy's about. Right? When you got somebody backing you, supporting you, saying, yeah, no matter what, I'm in this with you. Right? That helps you move way faster. That's what we're looking to build. Accountability partners. I'm here for you guys. I'm here for you. When you're ready to get to the next level, if I can find a way to connect, I will. When Mike Gass took me up with somebody in Forex, I said, oh, thank God I got that guy. I got the Forex guy, right? It's what we do. It's how, like, this is how we get to that next level. We connect people, right? It's all about relationships. It's about learning, gaining knowledge. When you're at a place, we're going to give you a book, right? Mike is infamous. This whole event, right? Mike has been infamous with handing out books. When there's something stopping you, yeah, we'll teach and train, but the book will allow you to get through it all the way. Well, if you've noticed nothing else, notice that the millionaires in the room are reading books. The millionaires in the room are reading books. This is what they're doing. They're going to trainings. They're going to courses. Again, who's been to trainings and courses? Aside from me? Aside from my courses? Yes? Yes? Did they help?
Yes.
100%.
Even if you don't get anything out of it, you get still at the mindset.
That's it.
So there's something out of it.
And have you ever been to one where you didn't
Yep.
get, you said, I don't know if this was valuable? Yes? But Carlos just said, I still get the network,
Yeah.
right? I still get the network. And I've always gone into every event saying, what can I pull out of this? If the speaker says one thing, I'm taking it home. I've had terrible speakers who I love education. I'm sitting there saying, stay awake, you got this, come on. Like, jump, do what you gotta do, right? Terrible speakers. But you still get something from them because you're focusing so hard on finding that nugget, like, where is it? You know, like pulling out of the belly of the beast, like, I've got to get something out of this terrible experience. And I've had trainers where you just go in and it's like so entertaining, it's so enjoyable, that like their knowledge is so relevant to what you're doing, and it feels great. And it's like, oh man, I just wrote the whole book of notes, right? Joe, I feel like you're like this every week. You write a book of notes, man. If you ever miss anything in these trainings, Joe has.
If it's not on Facebook Live, it ain't.
If it's not on Facebook Live, it's in Joe's notes. They're two separate formats. If you're a reader or visual or auditory, then we've got this for you.
I actually had to rewrite them last night. It took me like.
You rewrote them.
I had to, from the weekend. Yeah, I had to. I could to make sense of all of them and dumb some of it.
They were all legible. Okay, so Joe really will do this for you.
Cliff notes.
Cliff notes.
There you go.
So with the next 52 weeks, all right, the next 52 weeks, that's all it is, 52 trainings. What I'm going to ask is that you guys commit to yourselves. Commit to you. Commit to this group. Commit to doing this. It's 1 hour. I'm going to commit to 1 hour. Keeping it tighter, keeping it shorter, and pulling out and saying, hey, this is where we're at. This is what we're doing. Today we talked about mindset. We talked about you have to believe that it's possible for you. We talked about the foundational 5. If you read at least one of those for the next 5 weeks, you're on track with the rest of us. Can we commit to that?
Yeah.
Yes. For those who've already read it, just keep reading The Science of Getting Rich. Keep reading The Science of Getting Rich every single week. We'll all commit to that because that is the key to abundance. It really is. The reason we built this training company was because I was tired of seeing people be broke. The reason I wrote the book, Broke to $250,000, was not to teach people how to get to $250,000. It was just because I couldn't connect with people at $1 million. When you say you're a millionaire, people are like, oh, yeah, it must be nice you worked hard, you stole something, like you did more than I'm willing to do, right? When you throw $250,000, it's like, I'm not trying to be rich, that sounds comfortable, right? If I just had $250,000, that wouldn't make me rich, I'd be okay, I'd be still a good person.
It's funny how that works.
It's funny how that works.
Oh, yeah.
It is the opening, right? It's the opportunity. I'm not here to help the deca-millionaires, the billionaires. I would love to. But the book was designed to help the people at the bottom, right? The people who haven't hit that yet. The people who are, where we were just a couple of years ago, right? The people who are still there, like, we're here to help you guys. We're here to help you. We're here to support you. Making a lot of money is not the key. It's building a net worth. Building a net worth that'll last. Building a net worth that's transferable. Get to the point where you have the problem of, oh man, if we transfer this into stocks, there's a big tax bill, right? But we want more stocks. So how do we grow our stocks, right? How do we take a little capital gain here to pay more to build our stocks on the side?
Yeah.
And then just run those. But we got to keep 1031ing this, right? And Mike actually was person who slowed me down a little bit because I was ready to take a gain on everything, just pull out of real estate entirely. And then I realized I just want to do a little refinance and sell a little bit, and then I could keep 1031ing like the path really is.
If you pull money out, you better make sure it makes you money.
It better make money,
Yeah.
right? Because we pull out at this level, we're paying a 15% capital gain, plus a 5% capital gain to the state. So it's 20% regardless when you pull out at this level. Yes.
Is Fall River an opportunity zone?
Yes, has opportunity zones. They're all being redone this year, though, across the country. All the opportunity zones are being redone. But Fall River will likely be back in it.
We have to talk about that more.
Yeah, it's something I haven't gotten into, but the city, Mike Dion, will be able to extrapolate a lot in what the opportunity zones are.
I've just committed. I'm going to
Yes.
go to a class
Very good.
because that's super valuable.
The opportunity zones, the funding the city will provide, minimum housing,
Yeah.
what is it? Market rate housing. Like these are all forms. You got historical credits. These are all things that the city will literally hand you money in order for you to invest back in the city.
You were talking about real estate, but
Yep.
we have stocks. If you
Yeah.
have like a big gain in stocks.
1041 exchange.
No, but I'm saying you can use the opportunity
Yes.
zone. You can sell your Apple stock and then go into
401k.
real estate
Yep.
in an opportunity zone,
Right.
and then you're going to save like 15%. You don't have to pay. They defer the tax till 2026, and on the new property you bought, if you hold it for 10 years, there's no capital gains on it. That's
Sweet value.
amazing. That's
Right.
amazing.
It's a more complex strategy, but it's not that complex, right? It's simple.
Just gotta find the opportunity zone in Fall River,
It's quite a bit here. It's a large opportunity
Yeah.
zone.
Sorry.
The whole downtown area is the opportunity zone. So it's half of the 02720 zip code. It's a very, and it's easy to do because there's a lot of multifamily there. What it mostly is though, there's a lot of industrial buildings. There's a lot of warehouses, a lot of industrial in that whole downtown area. Right now, because of the way the financing is, everybody's building multifamily, but we really need more business. We really need more business. My brother is working on building a program that brings entrepreneurs into the city, and he's working on a building to attract more entrepreneurs in, so that we can bring more business in. Because that's really how we raise everything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but from the
Yep.
perspective of your people in the room that are
Oh, yeah.
realtors,
Yeah.
it's an amazing way because there are a lot of people right now that have a lot of gains in stock.
Yes.
And if you can, as a realtor, show them, hey, you can take your stock and buy a piece of Fall River real estate,
Right.
help improve my city.
Yep.
That's people who didn't think that they were ever gonna sell that because there's too many gains
Right.
in it. So that's huge.
It is. So,
And the
Mike,
market
you're taking a
is-
class on this?
Way up, yeah.
Yeah. So, are you prepared to teach us after
Yeah,
taking the class?
absolutely. Once I go,
We're all gonna hold Mike to this.
absolutely.
All right. What is your class?
I gotta go learn it better first. So.
All right.
Give me 2 months. What's that?
2 months.
All right, give me a month.
Okay. See, that's negotiation, right? You got 2 months. You got 2 weeks. All right. He agreed to 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
How long does it take to research, Mike? It's a couple of phone calls. You're gonna read some articles. We know you got this.
A lot of coffee, you're good to go.
A lot of coffee. Yeah. We need sleep, right?
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
If it takes him a month, we'll be okay with it.
I'm just saying it's a big deal because you have your realtor
Yeah.
team, and
Absolutely.
people don't
And
think
you'll
that
put
they
them
can
out
take
there.
their money out, but they can.
It's a big deal. The team is learning it now, but people will come to you and not have a pre-approval and say, I can't buy real estate, right? Well, the agent will say you can't buy real estate. There is so much work that we still have to do with educating realtors that allow people to buy real estate as, like, right now. I haven't used a pre-approval with a residential mortgage in years. I could, I probably should. I got that FHA. I could go owner occupied, right? So I
I
should.
gotta use it this year at some point.
Yeah, I've made a commitment this year. I'm gonna do it too, right? So like, yes, we're gonna hold each other accountable. We're gonna owner occupy,
I'm thinking the next 4
multifamily.
months, so we'll see. Yeah.
I love it.
I just gotta use it before the year's end.
I'm gonna do my taxes. Once I do my taxes, then I'm clear to go and run one. And I haven't done it in 3 years, right?
Yeah.
I haven't played the owner occupied. That's how we started.
Yes.
That's how we started the game.
100%.
But eventually you get to it and you're like, yeah, I don't know if I really want to go through all this. Yeah, let's just go buy the building, right? Cash, hard money, commercial, whatever it may be, is way faster, way easier. But just saying no to free money,
It's 3% down.
3% down, like the
That's
ROI
insane.
is insane on those buildings
Mm-hmm.
when you barely had to put anything down on it. But realtors are only playing in that arena. Right? I want more in the other arena, bigger deals, I'll make more commissions, and I would feel more valued if the agent taught me how to do the financing. Does that make sense? That's why when I ran Get the Money, I was like, the agents come, like throw your clients in. If you load up your clients and Get the Money, they're gonna know how to get the property, because money will no longer be an issue. And with all the wholesalers and the investors, especially the landlords are gonna buy more. That's why we did Get the Deal. Throw your wholesalers in a room, teach them how to get the deal, build yourself a network of people who are going to work for you, right? That is the whole premise of these trainings, is to help you make more money, to help you train your team. The trainings aren't necessarily just to train you, it's to train the people who are going to work with you or for you, right? I tell my wholesalers, look, I've trained you so that I can pay you, right? That's the whole reason we do the trainings. I'd rather cut you a check for a deal you sent me than just train or get paid for training. So my agents, I'd rather teach you how to find more listings and bring me a deal than just, you pay for the training. We make our money on the back end, right? Just like every good entrepreneur always has. We go and we work first, we get paid later. Right? Train people to make more money, you're gonna make more money. Train them to bring you the deal, you're gonna pay them for the deal. Train them to manage your property better, they're gonna make more money managing your properties and other people's properties. Right? Yeah. Train your clients to send you leads. Where are my agents at? Where are my real estate agents? Yeah. Train your clients to send you listings. Right? Train your clients to go out there and do all the mailers, all the emails, all the door knocking for you, so that, because they're not going to go on the appointments, you're going to go on the appointments. Right? Train people to help you make more money. Let them spend their marketing dollars. I haven't spent $1 on marketing in years because I don't see the point. I can just train somebody else to spend the money on marketing, and then I'll go on the appointments for them. Sure. Right? That makes sense? I don't even go on appointments anymore. I can't see the point. I'd rather train an agent to go on the appointments for me, right? Yeah. Andrew? You like taking my appointments? Absolutely. I appreciate you. Absolutely. Right? I'd much rather train the next generation, and that's the systems and systems and systems that millionaires are thinking about. Right? You're building systems. Go ahead.
A question. Does it make
Sure.
sense from a wholesale investor?
Yes.
Does it make sense to get a broker license or no?
Yeah. I mean, if you like money, right? There you go. Give him a round of applause. He likes money. This is my last one. So Warren Buffett has a saying. He says, rule number 1.
Don't
Anybody
lose
do
money.
it? Don't lose money. Rule number 2.
Don't lose money.
Don't forget-
That's it.
Don't forget
rule number 1. Don't lose money. As a wholesaler, if you're going out on an appointment with a property and you can't list it at fair market value, you've lost your money. As a real estate agent, you go and you attempt to wholesale at a low price and they say no, list it for fair market value. Now you're helping the client. You're doing full service. Does this make sense? I've had clients who said, oh, well, I want to fix it up and do it. And it's like, well, okay, I don't think you're going to. What if I fix it up and do it for you, right? Is it okay if I make a part of, if I make a little money on you doing that? Oh, well, yeah. One extra element, right? When we used to do the property management, we added a little extra element to ourselves to make money. And Carlos knows, I used to manage his properties for him. Back when he was a small fry. What, you bought the 6 unit?
The 6 unit.
And then you stacked right after that, just exploded.
Yeah.
Just exploded.
That was my first property in Florida. The 6 unit.
Absolutely. And it didn't scare him. He was just like, man, like we just tighten it up. Just tighten it up. And I told your partner, I was like, dude, you overpaid. Like, why? I would have done this for you. Like,
I do remember that conversation.
I know. I was like, I would have hooked you up. I would have done this. But now you're smart with the numbers. Just stay in the game long enough, right? Carlos didn't give up. That's why he's got 43 units.
45.
45 units.
And 5 more on the contract. Hopefully I
Five.
close in.
It's already 50. We're putting in the universe. He's at 50 units. He's at 50 units. Yes? We agree. Positive thinking.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So as a wholesaler, right? Get your license, right? Get connections with property managers. Get connections with attorneys. I now have connections with hard money guys who pay me to lend out hard money. Right? I get a little percentage for sending a referral along. I'd much rather make a very small amount and help a lot of people get rich and just keep building this up because it attracts all the right deals to me. It's going to attract all the right money to you, the deals to you, the relationships to you. It's going to be a way more fun business. Right? My mentor told me, I was like, hey, how'd you find your wife, right? Because, you think about these things every so often. I was like, how'd you find your wife? He goes, oh, she was one of my tenants. I was like, dude, didn't you break the rules? He's like, no, hold on. She worked for me first. Built a business, right? So that she was, he vetted her out for a very long time.
Smart guy.
Mm-hmm. You're going to get the relationships. You're going to get the wealth. You're going to get the notoriety. You're going to get, I can't go out at a bar in the city and not get a free drink. You know how dangerous that is? It's very dangerous. Well, you guys saw, we all went out to Dunny's. We took the last week's training. Everybody went out with us. And we went to Dunny's, we went to Tequila, we went to the Belmont and St. James. All great bars, restaurants, little nightlife that's here in the city. Carlos, you ever been to any of those?
No.
You gotta check it
I gotta
out.
join you
The
guys.
city is fun, dude. There's a lot here, right? So we popped around and went through everything. I knew everybody in the room. I knew my group, but I also knew everybody else, right? Everybody else knew me. At least everybody else knew me. I didn't always know everybody. But that's the power that comes from just staying focused on your goals, on adding value to people's lives. People come over, they're entrepreneurs, they say, hey, how do you do this? How do you do this? Quick answer. It's easy to talk business when you've been doing it for so long. It's easy to add value. Everybody knows me as a real estate guy. There's a couple of videos here and there, a couple of trainings here and there, just adding more value, pushing it away. I have investors who tell me all the time, stop trading the competition. They're not our competition. They're our replacements. Right? When I go to buy bigger buildings, I'm not holding the little ones. I need somebody else to come in and take these things from me. When I go to not pay taxes in 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, I need somebody to take my note, seller finance, so I don't pay taxes on it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Sat my accountant yesterday. I was like, we're gonna defer our taxes again. 1031. He's like, well, you gotta be careful with the 1031. I know you're watching, Joe. He actually watches. This is why we get along. So he was very, very smart about it. And he says the same thing everybody says. Well, you're just kicking the can down the road. And that's how we're gonna end this, right? I want to end this on this topic, then we can network a little bit. He said, at 1031, you're just kicking the can down the road. I was like, dude, I want to kick that can as far as I freaking can, man. Like, I'm not in a race to pay taxes. I'm not in a race to die. I'm not in a race to pay taxes. I want to kick that as far as I possibly can. He says, well, eventually, somebody's going to get hit with that tax bill.
No.
I said, no, because eventually, I'm going to seller finance the biggest building I've ever bought. My 1031, everything into one building, seller finance that to a nice company, and I'm going to disappear the gain, because now I'm a lender, right? And when they pay me back eventually, I just put the money back in the account. Does that make sense? Sure. That is the process. The only way to get out of this game without paying taxes is to let other people borrow your money. Be the bank. Why do you think the bank lends? Why do you think the bank's got the nice buildings in the city? In your bathroom, in your flips, in your projects, if you put granite or marble somewhere, you put it in as few places as possible so that people notice you put it in, but you're not paying what it costs to put it in. The bank lines their walls with granite and marble. They line the ceilings, the floors, their desks, everything is granite and marble at the bank. You know why? They gotta invest the money somehow. They've got too much. The goal is to be the bank. That's what we're aiming towards. That's why I like Mike's goal. So I want $5 million to lend out to other people. Get yourself a $5 million building and seller finance it in the end. 1031 to a $5 million building, seller finance it. Easiest strategy. Yeah?
Let's do it.
Guys, get goals. Get money. Next week, same thing. Totally different training. When I say I'll be here every Saturday at 10 a.m., I mean it, unless I'm in Vegas or Florida, because I'm looking to buy real estate in those two markets. So if I'm not here, somebody else will be here. It'll be Carlos, or it'll be Mike, or it'll be Ron. Somebody will be here to coach you guys. Can we hold each other accountable to this? Carlos, you in? I didn't even ask.
I'm in.
I knew you were with
I
me.
guess I'm in.
Well, here's the deal. We're building an army of millionaires, and they need to understand Forex. I think that's a part of it. Yeah? And we're going to record it, and we're going to push it out. Yes?
Okay, what area in Florida are you looking
I haven't decided yet.
for? Just let me know. because
But you know me, when I decide, you will know.
Yeah, see, I
right?
wrote down there, so I know.
Oh, I see
There you go.
this. See how the universe works? Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. Awesome week. Every week for the next 52 weeks, we are talking about a different subject that will help you become a millionaire. The goal is never work again. 5 years to freedom or 5 years to ultimate wealth, whichever is your level of comfort. That make sense? Give yourselves a round of applause. Awesome. Glad to have you on the show. You too. See you there.